The left maintains that then Vice President Joe Biden's unmasking of General Flynn is no big deal. Everybody does it, no harm, no foul. The left argues that it is just fine and dandy to listen to private American phone calls if the American is talking to a target of national security interest. Unmasking essentially is an end run around the Constitution. Why should unmasking be unconstitutional? Because the eavesdropping in the first place was condoned with a less than constitutional standard. If a foreign surveillance order was issued, the standard they use is probable cause that the target is associated with a foreign government, which is not the standard of probable cause of crime that the Fourth Amendment requires. I suspect, though, that the NSA listens to the Russian ambassador with no court order at all. I suspect the NSA simply listens with impunity. While many will not object to having no constraint on listening to foreign nationals, certainly there should be concern about listening to conversations that foreign nationals have with presidents, national security advisors, representatives, businessmen, and even journalists. Unless the conversation includes dialogue planning an imminent attack on the U.S. or treason, it's hard to imagine any national security rationale for unmasking an American, particularly a high-ranking national security advisor. Add in the fact that Biden was eavesdropping on an advisor to his chief political rival. Like most of the abuse of power by the intelligence agencies, the abuse becomes manifest when placed into the political arena and colored with partisan bias. For opponents of concentrated power like myself, the issue isn't just about the Democrat conspiracy to take down Trump. The issue is about unconstitutional eavesdropping. I don't simply want Biden and others prosecuted. I want the system fixed so unmasking doesn't happen short of a real warrant from an Article III constitutional court. Last week, there was much discussing over unmasking, where Obama administration officials flagrantly violated the constitutional rights of American citizens, including those of their political opponents. To be sure, this behavior was abhorrent, and I'll gladly participate in putting this information in public for all to see. Outrage erupted from my friends on the Republican side. How could they have done this? Who let them? Who will pay the price? I'm heartened by this outrage, but will it translate into true action to protect the privacy of American citizens, or is it just faux partisan games? You see, last week we also in the Senate debated legislation dealing with warrantless surveillance and the FISA courts. I'm afraid I didn't hear much about that from many of my GOP colleagues. In fact, most of them voted to continue to give this unconstitutional power to presidents and administrations. This is a mistake. The lesson that we should all be taking away from this is not my political opponents should not be able to spy on me without a warrant. The lesson should be no one should be allowed to spy without a warrant. The difference is not small.